Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Kahalayim, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. All right, this is Zephaniah 3 and 5. It says, the just Yahawah is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. All right, so the point really that Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, he will not do iniquity. All right, so whatever we're going through, we deserve it. All right, whatever afflictions are put upon us, we deserve it. We got to accept it. You got to accept it because you deserve it. Speaking to myself, man, first and foremost, Ezra 9 and 13. And after all that has come upon us for our evil deeds and for our great trespass, seeing that thou, our God, has punished us less than our iniquities deserve, and has given us such deliverance as this, should we again break thy commandments and join in affinity with the people of these abominations? Wouldest thou not be angry with us till thou had consumed us, so that there should be no remnant nor escaping? All right, so we get punished less than our iniquities deserve, man. The Most High is merciful. All right, because it says right here, Psalms 130 and 3, if thou, Yahawah, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? All right, we'd all be done, okay, if he really wanted to judge us accordingly. But verse 4, but there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. So we stand in fear and awe of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI because we know that he punished us less than our iniquities deserve. All right, Ezra 9 and 15, O Yahweh, God of Israel, thou art righteous, for we remain yet escaped, as it is this day. Behold, we are before thee in our trespasses, for we cannot stand before thee because of this. All right, again, but there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. Psalms 130 and 4. All right, so what we got to wait for Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. Elder Lahab said it last night in class, like, you think the Lord is not worth waiting for? Roughly paraphrasing, the Lord is worth waiting for. All right, Psalms 130 and 5, I wait for Yahweh, my soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. All right, so there's mercy in his word. And but there's also chastisement and afflictions for his sons. All right. But hey, what does it say? Count it all joy. James 1 and 1. Testing your faith, man. Come on. The trial of man is in his reasoning. Let's actually get that too. Trial of man is in his reasoning. How are you going to reason about it? How are you going to reason about the afflictions? Oh, why, God? You know how the world and Hollywood be in that spirit. Why, God? Why me? It's that woe is me spirit, which Ezra actually said woe is me, but he wasn't in that. He wasn't saying it like that. He was saying it like the Lord's judgment is going to be extremely serious. He's saying woe is me, like who will deliver me in those days, man. He wasn't saying it like like showing pity on himself, like, oh, so that's not his spirit that he was in when he said woe is me, man. But Sirach 27 and 5, the furnace proveth the potter's vessels, so the trial of man is in his reasoning. All right, just like Job. He maintained his integrity, man. He didn't charge the Most High foolishly. All right, because we deserve this, man. Come on. James 1 and 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahawashi Hamashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. That's a radical mindset to have, man. Count it all joy. Who's actually doing that? Who's actually counting it joy when they fall into, when hard times fall upon them? Only the elect. Verse 3, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Yeah, let it have its perfect work. Don't try to run out of the fire. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. Don't try to run out of the fire. Don't try to question the Most High. All right. We cry out unto him for strength and for deliverance, but not questioning why does he do this, man? Because we understand he cannot do iniquity, and that this is working our faith. This is working our patience, testing our faith. The trial of man is in his reasoning. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel. How are you going to know how is the potter going to know if that vessel is strong and suitable and usable if he doesn't prove it in the furnace? So the trial of man is in his reasoning. All right. Be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Make not haste in times of trouble. Verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right, so we signed up for this, man. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste at times of trouble. So it even says right here, this is how it be, man. Psalms 31:22. For I said in mine haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplications when I cried unto thee. Sometimes I feel like, Lord, cut me off, man. He's not dealing with me. You say it in your haste, but no, man, he is. Okay. He is. That's just the potter proving his vessels. All right. It says, make not haste in times of trouble. All right. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. All right, we got that. We got that. Real quick, Lamentations 3:39. Let me see. Wherefore doth the living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Let us search and try our ways and turn again to Yahweh. So, hey, man, this afflictions are going to cause you to search your ways, and it's going to humble you. All right? Because that's pride to think that, like this is unfair to me or something like that. No, it is fair. That's, something I told to my woman, she said it like jokingly. She's like, life isn't fair. I'm like, yeah, it is fair. And anyone who says that doesn't understand. All right, because it says, evil men understand not judgment. So there's no unfair nothing. All right, we get punished less than our iniquities deserve. That we may try our ways and return back to the right way, man. Return back to the BAHASHAM YAHWAHSHI. Micah 7:9. I will. Oh, let me get 8 too. 8's fire. I love verse 8. It says, rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall rise. I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. All right, so our strength made perfect in weakness. Verse 9, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. So there you go. We just got to bear it, you know, for a little bit more until he executes for us. Acts 5:41. And the the apostles were beaten. This is Gamaliel's counsel. Acts 5:41. And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name. All right, and daily in the temple, in every house, they cease not to teach and preach Yahawashi Mashiach. And that's what the elect is doing. They're not ceasing to teach and preach Yahawashi Mashiach, no matter what happens. And it even says right there that the apostles counted it worth. They were rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer. So they praised Yahawah and thanked him. That's a beautiful mindset. You, Lord, thank you for counting me worthy to suffer. You know, nobody in the world saying that. All right. That's the QADASH, man. That's the Holy Spirit. All right. So then we had second Ezra 16 and 17. Ezra seeing the end time destruction said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? All right, so again, that's not woe is me. That's not saying, why God, why me? You know, that's Ezra understanding the severity of the judgment. But again, hey, who will deliver me in those days? Hey, there's wisdom, knowledge, understanding, Yahawashi HaMashiach, ultimately physically delivering us in these days, man. So pray that this was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah BAHASHAM, Yahawashi BAHASHAM, QADASH. All right. Double honors again to the apostles, and shalom, kwam, YASHARAHLA, shalom, abba.